just for you.
All right. Order, and if you have not already done so, and you all may not have, but you can later sign in at the front, okay? Mr. Bryant, would you? Okay. Roman numeral 2, the minutes from the July 12th, 2022 regular meeting are available for review at the website. I assume you were sent those by email, and Commissioners, I assume you read them. Is there a
Yes.
motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Dr. Horton has moved to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Owens has seconded. Any further discussion? Oh, I do it every time, don't I? One day I'll learn. Was there, who seconded? Mr. Dr. Owens seconded, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? It's okay now? You can hear it, okay. The chair respectfully requests that we amend the agenda so that we can take up Mr. Bryant and then move into the Johnson property.
I make a motion to amend
Second.
the agenda.
Okay. Ms. Salter has moved to amend the agenda. Mr. Donahoe has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. We are going to go straight down to new business. Jerry Franks was approved administratively. It's the same exact paint. We approved that before. Ms. Rock left on vacation. Is there a motion to approve? That was you, I'm sorry. Mr. Donahoe moved to ratify. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Owens has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
080101 Dennis Bryant, 210 Jefferson Street. And would you go to the podium, please, where the microphone is, and tell us, does everybody have a copy of the signage? Mr. Bryant, what we need to know is where the sign will be located, and we've got the description of it.
Yes.
And Dr. Horton, is it within the guidelines?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, he calculated that because we didn't know how. So, okay. Would you tell us where you plan to put it?
I really haven't decided. I was thinking in between the sidewalk and the driveway. It wouldn't be up on the corner. It would be to the opposite side of that, so it wouldn't block anything.
And it's a one-sided sign?
I know too.
It's a two-sided sign, okay.
Still within.
We're still within the,
It's double the.
With the road frontage. yeah.
Yes, it's still double the square footage, which I calculated, I don't have it, but it's way within, still.
Yeah, I did
okay.
too.
Do you know what it will be constructed out of?
Yes, wrought iron.
It is going to be wrought
Yes,
iron?
completely wrought iron.
Naturally.
The
Okay.
lettering.
Yeah,
And
since
then-
Bo does that.
That what?
Exact-
Since Bo does that, yeah.
Bo
Oh,
does
yeah.
that. So what exactly will this be constructed of? What it's, the actual
Sign itself.
It's all
sign
metal.
itself?
Oh, the sign itself, it's gonna be a metal back, and what I'm planning on doing is whatever color we paint the house, is gonna paint it first, then put stick-on letters, and then paint it black, and then peel those off, so it won't crinkle or anything.
Okay, do we know what it says?
Oh, yes, it's not on there? I'm
No.
sorry.
No.
I thought I had sent that in.
Can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, it's Natchitoches Properties, VRBO rental,
Say again.
Natchitoches Properties.
Okay.
Let me find it. Oh, I'm sorry, the Natchitoches House and Guest House, and then it says vacation rental, Airbnb, and VRBO, and then phone numbers. That's all it has.
Okay, and what is
Can
What
I,
is this?
can I actually
Sure.
see that?
the surface?
There may be way too much for that.
Well, and the surface is metal.
Hmm.
It's metal surface.
Oh, I know. I was talking about what he was putting.
Okay, well,
on it.
that looks okay.
Yeah.
That looks
Mm-hmm.
fine.
That's one way. We have to have a
The
lesson
way
on
you were reading
microphones.
it was like,
Sounds like a lot more.
yeah, a lot more. I'll fix that here.
Okay.
I'm going to approve the application.
Mr. Donahoe Donahoe has moved to approve the application as presented. Dr. Horton has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, great. Have you seen the survey, the Louisiana Historic Resource Inventory?
No, I have not.
Okay, would you make a note, please, you could either come by here, but it has a total description of the house, and it's a contributing structure built between 1923 and 1930, and it has all of the description on it of the house, so I think you'll be glad to. Okay, all right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, a motion to return to the original agenda is requested. Mr. Donahoe has moved to go back to the original agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Salter has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? We will go back up to Roman numeral 3, old business. Ms. Salter, Dr. Owens, and Mr. Donahoe went to the L.H. Johnson property, and I'll let her, she was nice enough to write a summary, so that saved you a lot of time. Mr. Donahoe and Dr. Owens.
The subcommittee met Thursday, July 14th, 2022, at 9:30 a.m. at the former L.H. Johnson warehouse site on Mill Street. In attendance were committee members Jared Donahoe, Drake Owens, and Marion Salter. Others present were property owners Kelly Dorlon, Lynn Dorlon, Lance Nelson, and the owner's attorney, Chris Gillette. All those present walked and examined the site to assess the clearing of trees and brush that occurred prior to initial contact with the HDC. Plans were discussed for additional clearing needed for a parking lot and management of soil erosion. Mr. Dortlon shared that plans included entrance into the parking lot on the west side of the building entering from Mill Street, with angled parking on both sides of the entrance lane for the entire depth of the building. A large paved parking lot is planned for most, if not all, of the available flat area to the rear of the building. Mr. Dortlon expressed that he desired to clear all the flat area, leaving 2 trees, plus the entire riverbank area. Mention was not made of the trees on the riverbank. Mr. Dortlon stated that he has not retained a landscape architect, but is in discussions with 2 prospects to determine what can be done to stabilize erosion on the riverbank. He noted that a bulkhead or retaining wall would be needed and assured the committee all changes would enhance the riverbank. The committee noted that the area cleared by Mr. Dortlon on the riverbank was exposed to substantial runoff from the roof of the building at the top and erosion from boat wakes at the bottom. The elevation of the riverbank is approximately 18 to 20 feet and very steep. It was noted that concrete construction debris has been dumped on the riverbank in past years in an apparent attempt to fill eroded areas, creating an unsightly view from Cane River since the clearing took place. And you can see that on the attached photographs with the report. In response to Mr. Dortlon's concerns about erosion, the subcommittee shared that the adjacent property owned by the city of Natchitoches had experienced severe and expensive persistent erosion following a total clearing. Other property owners nearby have faced similar challenges, with some building multiple tiered retaining walls. The committee is concerned that clearing without a plan for immediate follow-up action should be avoided. Proper planning will mitigate costs for the property owner and maintain aesthetics of the site from Cane River. The subcommittee suggested Mr. Dortlon consider leaving shrubbery and trees near the property line of the parking lot which would possibly fulfill requirements for screening as stated in the HDC guidelines. The subcommittee noted that the adjacent fort owned by the state of Louisiana is part of a nature preserve and suggested to Mr. Dortlund to follow up with Rebecca Blankenbaker, Executive Director of the Cane River National Heritage Area. The committee also noted that any retaining wall installation will need to be permitted by the Cane River Waterway Commission. Following extensive discussion, the subcommittee provided permission for Mr. Dortlund to continue with clearing of the flat area to the west and the north property lines and up to, but not including the top of the riverbank or any further portion of the riverbank. Mr. Dortlund agreed to select a landscape architect to prepare plans for the flat area and the riverbank that will be submitted to the HDC prior to any further work. The committee notes that the subject property is the first expected application on the riverbank in what is expected to become an entertainment district. Careful and thoughtful adherence to all ordinance requirements is necessary to avoid any deviation that would set precedent. Respectfully submitted, Jared Donahoe, Drake Owens, and Marion Salter. Very good.
I thought it was well written myself.
Nicole, this is
We need to make,
a signed copy
Okay,
for the minutes that will need to go in their permanent file.
gotcha.
and we have not heard anything from the Dortlunds.
No, not since the last meeting. They haven't contacted the office unless they spoke with Chantrell directly.
I don't think so. I don't recall her telling me that before she left.
I was encouraged, I don't know what day I drove by there after our meeting, and I did see, a work truck from, I think it's pronounced Gibco, which is a, landscape company. I think they're out of
Bunky.
Bunky, they are very reputable,
Oh,
very
yeah.
good operation. I've had them give quotes from me, but I know people who they've done work for, they have a huge operation. You know, that encouraged me that he is at least talking to somebody of that quality, so.
Good.
Just wait to see what they introduce.
Sure. We need to have the document made an official part of the record.
Okay.
So if you'll attach that and also put these copies in their files. Okay? And I think it might be a good idea for each one of us to keep ours also in our files. Okay? All right. And Mr. Donahoe, I know you need to leave, and we'll still have a quorum, but we don't have anything that we're going to be voting on.
Do we need to vote on any of that report, or just leave
I
it?
don't think so. It's a part of the record. We can give you all about 5 minutes if that will help you, and then direct you you do need to go to planning and zoning though. But if you want to share with us for about 5 minutes. Okay, you want to come up to the podium? Okay, go by the microphone so that, oh, I'm sorry.
We have a copy for y'all as well. Yes.
Okay.
I think should have two if y'all like it.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, let's see what this is. Now, this is just some information on what you're, because you can't submit an application at this point from us.
The application is actually in my,
I'm sorry, what? Yes, they've got to do that.
yes, we would love to get a little small business started in our names and things.
Yeah. This, yeah, I didn't.
This is the application process, the packet.
Honey, let's see, just a second.
We did have a question at the top too.
Okay, well, you can't get, this application would have had to have been put into place Was today the
Yeah,
day?
no, they were just supposed to
Okay.
come and give y'all an idea of what they're trying
Yeah,
to do
what
on the
you need-
riverbank.
You're gonna have to
Yes.
submit
Yes.
to planning and zoning, then you will come back to us as far as the snow cone stand or what you plan to do and where you plan to do it. So we can't go into all of that tonight. Yeah, the design. Okay, so,
Is this,
So currently, the horse and carriage has two different places that they park at, over there across from Natchitoches and then across from Maglio's, or,
The red light by the bridge.
yes.
There's a
Bless you.
great spot for the snow cone stand right behind the carriage. It's in the grass, behind the concrete, the sidewalk, towards the river walk. It'll fit the whole stand perfectly right there.
well, and again, you're talking about placing it on city property. So that's why you have to go through planning and zoning and also,
Yes, ma'am.
City
Probably.
managers would probably come to us with an application.
yes.
We spoke with the Queen River boat. They wouldn't mind us having it there either. Sometimes the cart has wheels, but that's the same. It's on city property still, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and I think just to save time and not to have you all go into all of your details, I think what we need to do is refer you to planning and zoning, and that will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds great.
And then we'll, as they finish the process with you, it will move to us, okay? And it sounds like we all like snow cones, so,
And hot
And then-
cocoa in the winter.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
and cocoa
So,
in the winter.
Western style.
Yes.
I wrote
Okay.
Old Town on the cover page, but we love the name Old Country a lot better.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe
Well-
the name of it. And we provided a picture of the snow cone stand that we have already.
As it stands. Now, the only thing that we've done so far is take the old fresh squeezed lemonade stickers off of it. It still needs to be cleaned up. We do plan on painting it. Any signage would be on the cart itself, so there wouldn't be any need for additional signage or anything like that.
And the
Okay.
page before the snow cone stand, it shows our prices and flavors. It's very simple. We want to paint that picture similar, the wagon wheel on the snow cone stand.
Well, you're entrepreneurs, we can tell that, and we're very impressed with your organization and your
great
willingness
to
to
hear.
contribute to the tourism too, and but start tomorrow at 5 o'clock, okay? And then
Sounds
if they
great.
have an application to submit, we will meet the Wednesday after Labor Day, because we wouldn't meet on Labor Day, whatever that date is.
The 7th.
The
Or the-
7th?
Yeah, the 7th.
Okay. But
All right.
get your, and again, we appreciate your wanting to share, and you're young entrepreneurs, and just think of all the things you can do.
keep this, so you'll have that.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Speaking
Good luck.
with, someone about the snow cone idea, he told me that about 20 years ago, his friend opened up a snow cone stand, and the owner was able to put his children through college, supporting that snow cone stand. So that was pretty awesome to hear. But it's for goodwill, just entrepreneurs, just keeping us busy, basically.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, okay? All right, let's move down to Roman numeral 5, other new business. Is there any other new business, Dr. Owens?
Frank's application.
What?
Do we need to ratify Frank's application, or did we do that?
We already
did. Jerry did it.
We should have another one.
We will meet Wednesday, September the 7th. I don't have any announcements or anything like that, so is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll
Dr.
second.
Owens has moved to adjourn, Ms. Salter has seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Good.